Okay, welcome back to Excel Training Part 2. This is for Pearson Module 2B. We already did Part 1 from 1 through 8. Now we'll do 9 through 16. So hopefully you'll find this very informative and helpful as you progress through the course. So we're starting on the right-click the online sales group, and we're going to ungroup it. And that's just a clicking of the ungroup. Then we're going to display the in-store sales. Just click on it. And that was pretty quick. So we're going to insert a new workbook. The easiest way to do that is just click on the plus sign. And then we're going to rename it Summary. I'm double clicking this time instead of right clicking and choosing Rename. And then we're going to select columns A through E and make them 110 pixels. So we're going to go to here and drag and do our best to get to 110. Can be a little challenging. All right, we'll leave it at 11, and it didn't like that. So let's try it again. And A through E, let's try to get to 110. So this time it liked it. In cell A1, we're going to type sales of rose plants and rose supplies. And it did not like what I did, so I must have spelled something wrong. If you get that, it just means you spelled something wrong. So let's try it again. Sales of rose plants and rose supplies. And let's make sure that everything looks good. And that time it worked. We're going to merge and center to E. Just click on Merge and Center. So now we're going to go to the summary side. Now this is going to allow us to put formulas based on information in other worksheets. So let's go to C5, and then we're going to hit equals. Now don't type in online sales. Click on the tab down here, and then it wants us to click on cell E12, which hopefully is this, and make sure that it gets up here. Now notice the little quotes, online sales, and then an exclamation point and E12. So it should enter, and if it works, fine. So we click up top here, notice it's going to be the same thing in here. So it's equals, it tells us the online sales is from another worksheet, and then this is the actual cell itself. So D5, let's go to D5, and we're going to do something different, just a different formula. So we click on equal and online sales and then F12 and enter. In cell C6 we're going to do the E12, but we're going to do it in the in-store. So again, equals, in-store, and then E12. If it doesn't work, make sure that you're clicking in the right formula, or the right cell. In D6, we're going to do F12. So equals, in-store sales, and F12, and enter. Okay, on the summary sheet, just make sure that we're in the summary sheet. We're going to use the auto sum in here to do E5 to E12 at the same time. So, select the range C5 to E6. Now notice that you have the blank spaces in here, so it's going to figure out this is exactly what you want. So let's click on auto sum and see what happens. Boom, and it filled it in. So we're going to click here and notice that it filled in the sums for you automatically. On a summary sheet, do the range C7 to E7. So C7 to E7. So let's click here. We're selecting them, and now we're going to do the auto sum. And it worked again. In the in-store sales worksheet, change cell B8 to 1410. And so notice that there's just two different ways of doing the same thing. So let's go to in-stores and 141088 for B8. And we'll go back to the summary, and it should update that automatically. So now we're going to do Spark Online. Let's try it again. Column Spark Lines. So let's go to the online and the rows in here. Very simple. So we're going to select B5, and Spark Lines are on Insert. And here are our Spark Lines. We have line, column, when lost. So it wants us to do columns. Then it wants us, where is the data range? Well, the data range is C5 to D5. And click OK. And you can see the little bar, it goes up. So you can see this would be much higher because this is much bigger in here. So let's go to B6. And we're going to do the same thing. So we'll go to Insert. We'll go to column, and then we want C6 to D6. Now we're going to go in this style group. So the design styles over here, which is this right here. We'll go down to the third row and a fourth style. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So they have two different colors in there. Move the summary sheet to the tab. Now you can go and drag it if you want. What I like to do is just right click and choose move. And where do you want to move it to? We want to move it to before sheet. Now if you want to make a copy of it, just click on create a copy. And you can actually put it in a different workbook if you want. Point to the summary worksheet tab, which is here. Select all sheets, and we're going to center it horizontally. So there's different ways to do it, but the easiest way to do it is go to Page Layout and click on Page Setup, go to Margins and center horizontally. And apparently we did not do that right. So right click and select all sheets, center the worksheets horizontally on the page, and insert file name in here. So let me see what I did wrong. So, alright. And insert the name. Let's see. Now I see why. Because I didn't do the footer. I did not kind of read like I should have. So there you go. Let's go to custom footer and we'll insert the file name. And now let's try it. There we go. Print all the worksheets at one time. So for there we're going to go to File and we're going to go to Print. And see where it says Print Active Sheets? Here we're going to print the entire workbook. And click on Print. And done. With the bonus sheet tab, let's click on it, make sure. Click cell C4. And we're going to do a logical. This is a getting if, else, if. So we're checking on different conditions for bonus. So we're going to go to Formulas, logical, and I'll explain it as I go along. So the first test is if B4 is greater than $49.99, that means he gets a $500 bonus. If that's not the case, then we're going to check to see if B4 is $39.99 greater than, and if that's the case, a $350 bonus. Then we're going to check for B4 greater than $29.99. Then we're going to give him a $250 bonus. Now I'm hitting the tab key for each one. And then if B4 is greater than 0, which it is, he gets 0. So let's click on OK. This is just like one big giant if else, if else, if else, if you know any kind of thing about programming. So, and incorrect action. So that means that I probably spelled something wrong. B4 greater than, here it is right here. So we'll change this up top here. And let's try one more time. So now we're going to copy it down. And notice the 0 there. Then we're going to do the accounting format. And here is our accounting. So we want B4 to C7. And let's see, am I doing something wrong? B4 to C7. Use the accounting format. There you go. Now notice that it put a dash in there instead of zeros. And we're going to decrease it 2 times. And we're done. Everything always goes well when I do this on my own. When I make the video, that's when I make all the typos. So if you have the same problem, then you can go back and look at some of the things that I've done to correct them. So that's it for this video. I hope it's been very helpful for you.